Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome to Inspirations for Your Life. It's so great to be with you here. It is a Wednesday evening, and it's July 8th, and welcome, everyone. If this is your very first time coming, I'd like to take the opportunity to say thank you, and I'd like to say the words welcome. If you've been here one time, five times, 10, 100, or more, or maybe you've lost track of count, well, I'd like to say thank you and welcome, but I also like to say the words welcome back. It's always great to have people that enjoy the quality content of the shows that I produce here. All right, guys. So this has been an amazing week, and we are almost through the master topic, which we have tonight, and we have tomorrow, and we have Friday. So if you're hungry, you're thirsty, don't starve yourself. Don't be famished with, not giving yourself a beverage. Feel free to go get yourself that healthy RO water, or if you want something like a sugary soda or another snack, like a piece of candy or a piece of fruit or anything. Feel free to get that and come on back. And do not forget to check believemeachieve.com right after the show so you can get more of my, short form and long form content after the show, which you can do 24 hours a day. Without any further ado, guys, let's kick this show off. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Inspirations for Your Life, the Master Weekly topic, the power of steady trust, building stability in uncertain times. The daily topic, Series 5, Show 28, Episode number 5, How Expectation Shapes Direction. Welcome, everyone, to Inspirations for Your Life. I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, engineer, marketing specialist, video producer, podcast host, coach, keynote speaker, graduate student at Montclair State University, passionate lifelong learner, and grateful now to be a published author. Thank you so much for choosing to join me for another amazing episode where I basically discover and help you connect with practical principles that strengthen, your mindset and ours to sharpen the focus and help us live with greater purpose. This week's master topic, like I said, is all about the power of steady trust, building stability in uncertain times. It's not an easy thing to do. Today's episode is about how expectation shapes the direction. Everything you accomplish begins long before you first have a visible action. It begins with what you expect. Your expectations shape your thoughts, influence your decisions, and determine the direction you continue moving. When life becomes uncertain, guys, before success ever appears, expectation is already influencing your future. So let's explore some principles that can reveal how expectation quietly becomes the compass that guides your life. Are you ready, guys? Let's get right into this because that's the best way to do this, guys. All right. Number one, expectation directs behavior. Your actions usually follow what you believe is possible. Positive expectations encourage bold action, while negative expectations often create hesitation. Number two, what you believe shapes what you pursue. People naturally invest time in goals they believe they can achieve. Strong beliefs encourage greater commitment and persistence. Number three, mindset determines the trajectory we take. The direction of your life begins with the direction of your thinking. A healthier mindset produces healthier decisions. Over time, that is, guys. So you have to embrace that. Number four, expectation influences, outcomes. What you expect affects the effort you invest. Greater expectation usually leads to greater persistence during challenges. Number five, belief guides decisions. Every important decision is influenced by what you believe about yourself. Healthy beliefs encourage courageous choices that move your life forward. Number six, guys, anticipation shapes action. People prepare differently when they genuinely expect success. Positive anticipation encourages consistent preparation instead of hesitation. Number seven, guys, focus follows expectation. Your attention naturally moves toward what you expect to find. Clear expectations help eliminate distractions and strengthen concentration. Number 8, guys, what you expect, you prepare for. Preparation reflects expectation. When you truly believe opportunity is coming, you begin preparing long before it arrives. Number 9, direction begins in thought. Every meaningful accomplishment begins as an idea. Changing your direction starts with changing your thinking. A lot of people, well, they get scared of changing their thinking. They think if they change their thinking that, they're going to like go off track. It's going to get uncomfortable, guys. And that's where success starts to live. We have to practice getting comfortable being uncomfortable. All right. Number 10, expectation drives consistency. Believing your effort matters makes it easier to stay consistent. Consistency grows when purpose remains stronger. Then temporary emotion. And I think that's another important insight, right? We believe in it, and therefore when we believe in it, it happens. Number 11, guys, belief creates momentum. Every positive action reinforces confidence. That confidence encourages another action, creating momentum that continues building over time. That's the key, guys, over time, not in one breath, okay? Number 12, vision shapes behavior. A clear vision simplifies daily decisions. When you know where you're going, your habits begin supporting that destination. And I think that's something that a lot of people miss. They don't realize that our thoughts actually get us to be aligned with the actions we're going to take. That's really important. Number 13, guys, expectation builds habits. Repeated expectations become repeated behaviors. Over time, those behaviors become habits that shape your future. And a lot of people don't realize those small habits we have make the difference, right? They make the difference. And that difference helps us to gain a better appreciation, a different perspective. But the most important thing is it helps us to change the path we're on, right? To do things every day to lead us towards success. Number 14, guys, thought becomes structure. Consistent thinking creates consistent behavior. Eventually, those behaviors become routines that organize your life and strengthen your progress. And again, this might sound, I don't know, it might sound hard to believe. It might sound like this is pie in the sky. But when you take small actions over time and you keep doing them consistently with a structure, you're going to yield some results. Number 15, direction follows clarity. When somebody has a direction, clarity usually comes right after it, right? People know the direction that they've got to take. That's important, guys. When your purpose becomes clear, your choice that you make and other choices become simpler. Clarity removes unnecessary distractions and allows your energy to move toward what matters most. Number 16, expectation filters decisions. Every day, you make choices that either move you toward your future or away from it. Your expectations become the filter that determines which opportunities you pursue and which distractions you avoid. See, healthy expectations help you make decisions that align with your true purpose. Number 17, belief strengthens discipline. But belief is not something you just go grab out of thin air. You've really got to believe this from your core. Not something somebody can just tell you to do. You've got to embrace it with every muscle, ligament, tendon, and organ in your body. Belief strengthens discipline. Discipline becomes easier when you believe your effort has meaning. Strong belief gives you the motivation to continue even when results are delayed. I feel like they're not showing up. The more you believe in your destination, the more committed you become to the journey in your life. But it starts, guys, with what? It starts with belief. Belief. Okay. That belief is what makes the whole difference. That makes the whole difference. That makes the whole difference about you and things that you're doing. I think those are important things for us to understand. All right. Number 18, focus grows from expectation. Now, it doesn't grow quickly, but it does grow. And with the more you grow, the easier it becomes. Okay. It's like, we think of it like the snowball effect, right? When the ball is starting to roll down, it's nothing, right? But eventually it rolls, it picks up momentum, and it gains, well, more snow, and it packs in. Before you know it, that, well, snowball could be a killer snowball, right? But it starts off slow, doesn't it? And the momentum picks up after time. Then it becomes this huge ball. It's like it started with a little tiny little snowball, and suddenly it's like rolling into something like really big. So focus grows from the expectation that we have. Your mind naturally pays attention to what it believes is important. Positive expectations sharpen your focus and reduce unnecessary distractions. Clear expectations create clear priorities. When you become clear on the things you do, that's important. And that's a very, 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 very big key to understand those priorities, right? That's important. And the more that we embrace that concept, the more that a pathway just sort of opens up for us. Now, it might seem magical. It's not magical, guys. I got to tell you this. It's happening because you've already put the work in it. All right. It didn't just happen because you woke up one day. All right. You were planting seeds the entire time. And if you plant seeds the entire time, eventually they're going to grow. But some people don't water. They don't care for their plants. They don't give it the other nutrients that they need. They give up because they're not growing in a few weeks. But you got to stay faithful. And you got to believe that that plant is going to grow. And it will grow. You can't rush it. It's got to grow in its timeline. And that might be hard for a lot of people to realize that, well, it's not growing yet, but what if it's not on my timeline? Well, if it's not on your timeline, it doesn't mean anything bad. It just means that you have to realize what it's about. You have to realize that timeline is where you are right now. Now, you might not be at the edge of the timeline where you want to be, but you can keep working toward it. And the way you get closer to where you want to be on it is by just taking consistent steps every day out. Consistency and structure every day. That's the key. Even if there's no results, you have to keep doing this day in and day out. That's just the real secret. Number 19, guys. Anticipation creates readiness. John, what do you mean by that? Great question. Preparation always begins before the opportunity arrives, right? We have to prepare before we're ready for something, right? When you expect good things to happen, you continue learning, practicing, and improving so you're ready when the moment comes. Readiness is built through consistent preparation. It's not built through a race or through a rush, okay? When we rush and we do things wrong, they fall apart, like a house, a building, a structure. If we don't have a solid foundation, okay, even a sidewalk, right? If we don't wait till the sidewalk is fully cured, we're going to have a mess. We're going to have just like a sidewalk that's falling apart. And it's going to be very unstructural because somebody stepped in it, and it's not going to harden in the right places. It's going to have weak points. Number 20, guys. Expectation builds identity. John, that's a lot of words. I know. The expectations you hold about yourself influence the person you become. Every positive choice reinforces a stronger identity built upon growth, confidence, and resilience. Notice I said a belief. Identity develops through repeated belief and repeated action. Those are pretty cool things, guys. Repeated action, repeated belief, and repeated action. Number 21, vision drives persistence. Did you know that? A compelling vision gives you a reason to continue when progress feels slow. Instead of focusing on temporary obstacles, you stay connected to your long term purpose. Vision keeps persistence alive. Does vision create it? Well, yes, it makes it real in your brain, but you still got to take the steps to get to where you want to be, right? You're going to get inspired thought, and that thought's going to lead you to inspired action, but you still got to take that action, guys. You can't just say, well, I'm just going to think about it and it's going to happen. It's not. You get the inspired thoughts, you get inspired action, and then you've got to take those actions. That's it. Many people are given amazing thoughts that they can act upon, but they just sit there and they wait and like, yeah, it's a good idea. I eventually have to do that. And that goes nowhere. Number 22, guys. Expectation removes doubt. When you know what you're working toward, uncertainty loses much of its power. Positive expectations replace hesitation with confidence and encourage forward movement. Purpose naturally reduces doubt. Purpose is put together around your core values. Your core values don't change that often. You might start when you're younger with some core value. You might say, gee, this doesn't fit me. You might want to change it up. But usually as you get older, those core values become pretty stable and you recognize that they don't need to change. See, when you're younger, you're changing them. You're like, oh, well, this person won't like me. When you get older, you're like, I am who I am, right? Anyway, my philosophy, people will like me, love me, or hate me, and I keep moving on. Number 23, guys. Mental framing shapes outcomes. The meaning you assign to a situation often determines how you respond. Challenges can become setbacks, or they can be stepping stones, depending on your own perspective. Healthy thinking creates healthier outcomes. That's one I think that a lot of people have a hard time realizing, that your embracement of something has the ability to make it positive or to make it negative. Just by the thought that you have in there, just by that thought, just by that thought. Interesting, right? Have you thought about that in a way? Maybe, maybe not. Interesting, right? It gets people to not realize like what's going on. And I think when people have a chance to sit down and say, wait a minute, this is the perspective I have, and this is why I'm getting the results that I have right now, because the perspective that I am focusing on is giving me what I have. Can you change that? Absolutely, you can change that. Number 24, guys. What you expect, you attract action toward. Because it has a way of getting our anticipation to be focusing on things by our RAS, or reticular activating system. Expectation alone does not change reality, but it changes our behavior. You begin noticing opportunities, asking better questions, and taking meaningful action because your mind is focused on possibility instead of limitation. When we focus on possibilities, we want to go forward. We want to do more in our life. But when we focus on other things, it's like, well, how do I do that? How? How do I go that way? Right? Interesting, right? People do this their whole life. Right? think a lot of people get scared in this stage. And I think they get scared because they feel, what if I make a mistake? What if I go the wrong way? What if you go the right way? Right? I mean, I think those are the kinds of questions that we need to be asking ourselves. What if we go the right way? Number 25, expectation defines effort level. People naturally work harder toward goals they genuinely believe are attainable. Strong expectations encourage persistence when others would just give up and quit. Your belief influences the effort you're willing to invest. Think about that for a moment. Your belief responsible for the effort you're going to invest. Number 26, belief shapes the commitment. Commitment grows when your belief becomes stronger than your excuses. Even difficult seasons become easier to navigate because your purpose remains clear. Lasting commitment begins with lasting belief. It's not something you just do one day, guys. It's something you live with. Number 27, expectation creates alignment. Aha. When your expectations, values, habits, and actions all point to the same direction, progress becomes more intentional. Alignment removes unnecessary conflict and creates momentum. Everything begins working together like a synergy. I think sometimes that scares people when things are working so perfectly. They're afraid they might muck it up. But the people that muck it up are the people that don't try, the people that are afraid to do something different. Number 28, guys. Focus follows mental direction. Where your mind consistently goes, your attention eventually follows. Positive thinking encourages productive action and meaningful progress. Your thoughts quietly shape your future every single day, whether you're aware of them or not. I'm just going to let you know that. Number 29, guys. Thought patterns define behavior. Repeated thoughts become repeated actions. Those actions become habits, and habits eventually define your lifestyle. Changing your future begins by changing your daily thinking. So let's start doing that now. And when we change our thinking, life changes. Expectations become a big part of who we are, guys. They become a big part of who we are because for whatever reason, again, we get stuck in this doldrum of like, what am I supposed to do, guys? How am I going to do that? And so expectations become reality in motion. The greatest lesson, I think, from today's episode is that expectation is never passive. It influences your thinking, it shapes your behavior, it strengthens your habits, and it determines your direction in life. The future you build tomorrow begins with the expectations you choose and set today. That's a mouthful. In closing, guys, and as I conclude here, today's episode, remember this. The future is not built by chance. It's built by the expectations you nurture, the beliefs you strengthen and cultivate, and the actions you consistently repeat. Every thought has the potential to influence your direction, and every decision either reinforces or redirects the life you're creating. Choose expectations that encourage growth instead of fear. Build beliefs that strengthen your confidence instead of limiting your potential. Most importantly, take action, daily action, that reflects the future you truly want to experience. And I know that's going to be hard because it's going to be what? Uncomfortable. I said success happens where we become uncomfortable. We have to practice getting comfortable being uncomfortable. A lot of people don't want to hear that, but that's the whole secret, guys. If we want to get that skeleton out of the closet, we have to realize that comes down to the fact that we have to take a chance. We have to believe in ourselves. We have to believe in our mission. We have to not be afraid to fail and not be afraid to succeed, because we can always tweak things along the way. That is a priceless lesson that many people never learn. Expectation shapes our lives. Expectation. What is expectation? I think that's probably a good way to define it. If we go over to Merriam-Webster, or you should go over to Merriam-Webster, and I look up expectation, I can tell you something about it. Expectation, according to Merriam-Webster, actually is a noun. All right, it absolutely is. It is a noun, and it's weighted in expectation of what would happen. So, expecting, the act of or state of expecting, is anticipation. What is that? Well, anticipation, a prior action that takes into account or forestalls a later action. The act of looking forward to something, pleasurable expectation. Maybe you're going to a movie, maybe you're going to meet a friend, or going to go fishing, or you're going to study. That perceived thing of looking forward to it is the expectation. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you so much for joining me, because this has been another amazing episode of Inspirations for Your Life. I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, engineer, marketing specialist, video producer, podcast host, coach, keynote speaker, graduate student at Montclair State University, passionate lifelong learner, and now so grateful to be a published author. Until next time, remember that direction always begins in the mind before it appears in your life. Believe in your future, trust the process, stay focused on your purpose, and continue taking intentional steps forward every single day. When your expectations align with your actions, your life begins moving toward the future you've been preparing to create. Stay inspired, stay intentional, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to see you on our next episode. Be sure to check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. The time to start, ladies and gentlemen, is now.